Hey, everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around. Tonight, we're going to be talking to the band Terrycloth Mother here on our Live from Cleveland at Home live stream. And the whole band has actually tuned in and joined us from their couch at their studio. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you guys want to introduce yourselves to the people watching at home in case they can't see who's under those beautiful masks?
Yeah.
Start with me. I'm John. Bands, I play drums.
I'm James Pequeno. I play bass and sing.
I'm Drew Mazius, and I play the guitar.
Steve Carney, and I play the pedal steel guitar.
I wanted to have you guys on the show for quite a while, and who knew that it would take a pandemic to get everybody together and have you guys get enough material together to play the show. So very happy that we could finally get you in here on Live from Cleveland.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. We're really happy to be here.
No problem. And so you guys met in sort of a unique way. And for those people at home that haven't heard you play before, don't quite know what your origin story is, tell us a little bit about how Terrycloth Mother came together.
Is that me?
Yeah,
Sure.
you did a lot of
Yeah, we formed as part of the Cleveland Lottery League, which happens every couple of years, and you're randomly put together with 3 other musicians. And there's you form around 40 bands total, and you're given a couple months to put together a set of music. And, I'd done it multiple times before. I think that was my 4th time doing the Lottery League. I think you guys were all first time.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was like 3 rookies and me, and it turned out really well. We just liked it, and we stayed with it. And here we are. What's it, almost
a year and a half later?
Yeah, a little more than a year and a half later. Yeah.
And that blows my mind that Drew and James and everybody that the 3 of you had not done Lottery League before, because you've been parts of the Cleveland music scene in one way or another, as well as just kind of within my friend group. So it kind of blew my mind that none of you had actually played music together before or really recreationally hung out that much. So what a nice coincidence that this band came together like this.
It was, very serendipitous. I think we were all very, very happy for the way the toss of the coin ended up on that one.
It is a small world because a lot of us had known each other from other aspects of our musical endeavors, but we had never actually played together or collaborated on anything.
Yeah.
So.
And James and I were we were at a birthday party for a friend of ours who I play. Actually, another Lottery League band that stayed together, Hiram Maxim. It was a birthday party for Fred Gunn's little boy, and James and I were sitting together at the party saying, "Man, wouldn't it be crazy if we ended up in the same band together at Lottery League?" But I didn't know James's last name, so when they drew the balls and they said, "I'm with this guy named James Pequeno," I'm like, "Who the hell's that?" and then it occurred to me that it was James, and that the chances were literally the chances of this happening were 1 in who knows how many hundreds of thousands or whatever, but it happened, so it was pretty cool.
It makes you feel silly you didn't put any money on it in that moment at the birthday party. and you wouldn't even have known if you won or not till a couple of days later. So
Yeah.
But this did end up working out really well for you guys. Normally for Lottery League, bands really only come up with a couple songs to play live. Most sets range from 10 to 20 minutes long, right? So when you were first placed together with the Lottery League group, tell me a little bit about your performance for that event specifically. How many songs did you guys come up with? Do those songs still remain in your sets now? That kind of stuff.
Well, so we played one song for our performance. It was about a 10, 11 minute long prog epic, I guess you could call it. And it'll actually be the last song you hear us perform tonight. And it was really cool the way it came about because James had a melody, I had a chord progression, I think Tebbs had some melodies, John had a little bit of a drum beat here and there, and all of these little parts that we had all created individually meshed really well into this one big piece. and we played it and we loved it. We came up with it really quickly. Within, I think, the first 3 or 4 weeks, it had a structure that we were really happy with. And then after we played it, we thought before we even played it at the big show, we thought to ourselves, we have a lot more material in us as a group than just this one song. And so, a week after the show, we were throwing out 3, 4 more song ideas.
Yeah.
That was another one of my questions too, is, a lot of bands say, oh, this would be great. Like, we should totally stay together. We should keep, making new stuff, flesh out a whole set. And John, you've been like really lucky to be in 2 bands that have gone on and done more recording and stayed together after the Lottery League formation. But what do you think, in your opinion, really takes a band from, kind of that pipe dream of, oh yeah, it would be cool if we stayed together, to actually like keeps working on it, making sure that you guys do come up with new material? What's been that distinction for you, that like you're going to keep, doing something good here?
Well, historically, very few bands have stayed together after the Lottery League seasons. A lot of that just has to do with the fact that they are randomly drawn. So you kind of have to get lucky that the dynamic is good, and that people want us to keep playing together, and that, you want to make sure, the different genres can sometimes clash and you can't write anymore, or maybe someone's super busy and they move on. I guess in my case, I've just been super lucky. I feel like I've won the Lottery League like 4 times, because my first band stayed together for a bit afterward as well. We played a couple shows, and then my second band really we were gonna stay together and keep doing stuff, but Tommy's in Mushroom Head, so he went off on tour a whole bunch, and then one of our guys just vanishes for 6, 7, 8 months a year. We don't know where he goes, so that wasn't going to work. We love that. But no, I think Hiram Maxim was the first time where I really felt like, okay, after the first practice, we're like, you understand. I think Fred even said, you understand we're going to have to stay together after this. Like, we just have to. And that was just an understanding from day one. I think this band was in a similar situation. After just a practice or 2. We were like, yeah, this is good. Like, we could do this.
And so, John, we've talked about some of your past projects and what you kind of brought to the table musically moving into this iteration of Lottery League the past time around. But James and Tubbs and Drew, let me know a little bit about like where you guys were coming from, what other bands you had played in when you went to apply to be a part of the Lottery League selection.
I had just broken up my band, The Singular, about a year before, and we had been doing stuff for like 10 years. I just I had more to say about that, and I forgot what everything that it was. So yeah, that was what I was doing before that. Oh yeah, I was kind of down and out about music at the time, and I was really looking for something to shake it up. And Lottery League really helped.
I had been playing in bunch of different country bands around town, and was really looking to get more involved in the Cleveland music scene. And it just so happened my friend Dominic told me about the Lottery League shortly before it was time to, get signed up. And I jumped right in and drew these guys, and it worked out.
Yeah. I had been playing, I've kind of played in like 3-ish bands in my adult career. I've played guitar in a couple bands, played bass in a couple bands, and they all kind of fell into different subgenres of indie rock. One of them was kind of like Americana country. One was really like shoegazy and noisy, and this I just thought would be a good experience to get ingrained in the Cleveland music scene more and just get out of my comfort zone, which is something I like doing, and this certainly did that in a really beautiful way.
Awesome. So I'm going to just prepare everybody for what we're about to watch for the next 10 minutes or so. When we were talking about the different ways that we kind of could go about hosting you guys on Live from Cleveland, do you guys have anything recorded right now online?
Yeah, we've got a couple songs, a couple singles that we've released. It's a Bullet, our Lottery League song, as well as Dancing Plague and King of the Wasteland. And we've got a bunch of other stuff that we're working on.
Awesome. So keeping that in mind, we knew that we didn't have like a whole set or a whole album to do like a listening party with. So we weren't going to play something that was necessarily recorded in the studio per se. But we thought it would be really, really fun, especially with you guys, because you've done some of these kind of recorded live sets in the past, to prepare one of those for the show tonight. So what we are about to see is Terrycloth Mother playing. You're playing live in your practice space, correct?
Yep.
That's right here, this room where we're sitting right now.
In a different view of it, but it's very similar, right? Okay.
Not on the couch.
And I'm usually,
Yeah.
I'm usually behind the drums.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Typically.
Except for all those gang vocal parts, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Those are different.
So anyways, you're going to hear right now 2 songs that they recorded live, and then we're going to come back, ask them a couple more questions, talk about what we just heard, and then we'll have 2 more parts for you guys to watch live at home. So this is kind of blending the best of a live watch party with a live music set, and kind of just having fun with it and going with it, since this is what we can do right now during quarantine. So let's, without further ado, watch what these guys have recorded for us. Here are 2 songs from Terrycloth Mother live from Cleveland.
Be the king of the wasteland. sides. You said with only a small investment, no indulgence would need ever be declined. You really stepped in it this time. Don't ever let 'em see your true eyes. When you opened up your door, said this could all be yours. Don't worry anymore. But then, as my payday neared, life savings on the line, you up and disappeared.
All right, welcome back to our live interview here with Terrycloth Mother. And that was who you just saw play that awesome performance. We just heard 2 songs from them. Guys, tell us a little bit about the 2 songs that we just heard. You guys are so smart. You put the names of the songs right on the video for us.
Yeah.
That's James.
I like putting those titles in just because I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it would help. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
glad it
I
worked
was jazzed.
You just heard King of the Wasteland, and you really stepped in at this time. And if I remember correctly, anybody correct me if I'm wrong on this. I believe you really stepped in at this time was we had started working on before the big show. Even it was the second song I think we started. We kind of broke ground on. And I kind of remember just whistling that bass line in the shower and then going and figuring it out. And then we started. I think we wrote like the whole like with the shell of the song, and I didn't have any words for a while. And I had that first line, "You found me when I was underwater," and I think I originally saw it as like some high fantasy thing, and then we started watching. What is that show about multi-level marketing? How to be on being a god in Central Florida, I think, with Kiki Dundun. And it was multi-level marketing was just in the air at the time. And I decided it was going to be, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to write this song about someone who's like trapped in like a multi-level marketing scheme. So it became that. And it, desperation. I find that I like to write songs about things that I'm afraid of, and I'm processing a little bit.
Like cats.
Like cats.
Yes.
And then
Every
the first one was King of the Wasteland, and I think that started its life as that I started doing that as like an alt, like another section for a different song, and we were just like, it doesn't work for that, and then we just turned it into a whole other song.
There were quite a few songs that were like germinating before we even played that the big show, the Lottery League big show, and those were two of the first kind of ideas that started seeding. That's what made us think, we got a lot more material in us than just pull it.
Was it different writing with a slide guitar in the mix as well as, your kind of how you normally put songs together, that it adds such a different element to the tracks? Like, how do you think that it like eventually influenced the sound?
Oh man.
Well, I see guitars as guitars. I actually think that
Sure.
a lot of what Tebbs is doing is not just using the slide, but he's plucking, he's kind of tapping the strings, he's creating drones and stuff, and I think that he complements a lot of what Drew is doing in a lot of ways. But I also, I do think it adds a twang on occasion. But Tebbs could probably talk more about his technique in that sense. I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know how much twang.
I've been really trying to avoid my standard like country sounds, with this band, but mostly I find myself playing a lot off of John's rhythm and a lot off of James's bass lines. I like working around those and trying to make like a counter melody to that. And then me and Drew just kind of blend on our own. It's worked really well in this band. We haven't really had to try very hard.
Yeah, I think
he'll write something and I just make, it happens naturally.
All of the talent in this band is like a fun challenge. Like I'm always feel like I'm playing catch up to like echo what Tebbs is doing or complement James's vocal lines or like match what John's like jazzy yet rock drumming is doing. So it's a fun challenge for sure.
For sure. What a great symbiosis of parts. I'm glad that you all see it that way and get along so well. So it's not too, you don't take it too personally if anybody's really doing something great. Just got to build off of it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we talked a little bit earlier about the fact that this isn't your first rodeo with these live streams. You've actually done a couple of you've recorded live sets this way for a live stream, similarly to this in the past, which kind of gave us this idea to do it for the show tonight. So tell me a little bit about some of the other ones that you've done.
We did the Ingenuity Fest.
Yeah.
They did a streaming festival. We produced a video for that, and then we did the one for Coda's Hope for the Homeless fundraiser.
And then West Side Bowl.
Oh yes, that's right.
Our first one was actually out. We didn't film it ourselves, but it was actually filmed out at West Side Bowl in Youngstown. Nate had us come out and play a set on a Sunday or whatever, at like noon, and then he streamed it later on that day. He like streamed the video and the sound and everything, and it turned out really well too. So this is the fourth time we've done this.
It's a little bit of a learning curve every time, and there's a lot of hoops to jump through, but it's kind of the reality of what everyone's doing right now.
Yeah.
Did you feel? Oh, I'm sorry. Go on, James.
No, it's okay. I always felt like and I think we kind of talked about it, and it felt like a lot of the like live streaming stuff. It's trying to we all miss playing out live because there's so much energy and it's this conversation between the music and the audience, and live streaming just doesn't. There's it misses this oomph, this impact that that comes from being live and like experiencing something in a large group of people all at the same time. And so I think it just felt like we wanted to do these like edited videos because it seemed like we could add back some of the impact that it's not anywhere near in the same way as a live performance, of course, but like in some other way we could add some of the impact back to try to make it impactful. I'm using the word impact a lot, but that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Well,
Like a more special thing as well. Like it's more produced. You put time into it like you would a live set as well,
Well, there are audio limitations to live streaming direct as well. And for a band like us that has like, let's just say 2 guitars, I mean, Drew's a sound guy. I can run sound. I know Tebbs can do sound. James can do sound. We're kind of picky, about what we want to do. The idea that anything would be lost in translation, not by our fault, but through technology, technical limitations. And frankly, most of the live stream stuff that you see going on, at least since COVID started, are mostly 1 or 2 person projects. You're not seeing a lot of bands. And if they do it, it costs a lot of money to do it really, really well. And so we we decided to take this approach because we just felt it was it felt more immediate. It looks better. It sounds better, and we're happier with it.
For sure. And I was going to mention that as well, that each of you kind of has some skills to lend to this as well. You know, this isn't the first time that any of you have had to run your own sound, so that helps out a lot. And James has some experience with editing and putting things together and mixing things for you guys. So it's been able to kind of come together pretty well for these live videos. Who else have you kind of enlisted to help you out with putting these together, and what kind of additional responsibilities do each of you take on with producing these?
We brought in Rustin McCann. He helps shoot a lot of the stuff. That's Can we mic that cat?
Dude,
She's always so loud every time she makes an appearance on Live from Cleveland.
I'm assuming she just liked hearing Rustin's name said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of
Frankly,
fired up.
I respond the same way when I hear Rustin's name.
But and Drew has a lot of experience with, like, you know, Drew spent some time in film school. He's like the best sound guy. I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes saying that. I think Drew is like the best sound guy in town, and it's having him here. It definitely helps things sound as good as they can.
Yeah, I think it's if all of us didn't have some capacity to do a part of this lift, then we might not be doing it. But we really do have like an embarrassment of riches of like someone taking on the video, someone running the cables, as simple as that sounds, like someone having the space to do it. Like we wouldn't have this great space if it wasn't for John. So it really is like a symbiotic relationship of like everyone having a little bit of strengths, and like Teb's gigging all the time, and like Tebs has a bus, so we're excited to get out and tour when we can. Like all of us have these little things that we can bring to the table, and especially with these live streams, it's we've been trying to lean on each other, be like, hey, we gotta do this. Let's make it as good as possible, because let's face it, not a lot of people like sitting around on their computer and watching crappy audio for an hour. So let's do what we can for people that want to hear music.
And have 4 people who all aren't afraid to plug a microphone in is honestly a lot more than I've had sometimes in the past.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And the fact that you do have the ability to do things like this is a huge privilege and a huge way to engage more with your fans, since you can do it. So that's awesome. And I'm happy that you're making these. We wanted to mention that these videos will be available as well on your YouTube channel after airing, correct?
Yep,
that's right.
Yes.
And where can people find you on YouTube?
Look up Terrycloth Mother. Terrycloth is one word in this scenario. What's funny is we have a URL. We got Terry. It's the first band I've ever been in that I didn't have to put music at the end. So we have terryclothmother.com. I think it just goes to the Bandcamp at the moment, though. But if you look for Terrycloth Mother on YouTube,
you'll find us.
We're there.
Yeah. And all this stuff lives on Facebook too, and we put everything up. So it's
Are some of the past performances, like the past stream performances, on there as well, or is this going to be okay? Cool. So all those are on there.
West Side Bowl, Ingenuity Fest, Coda are all there. So plenty of content to check out.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Well, I want to actually move on to the second video so we can have a chance to watch that. And then when we come back, we'll be talking about what you guys have been working on this year, in addition to all of these awesome live videos. And we will talk about that right after the next 3 songs here by Terrycloth Mother here on Live from Cleveland.
fear of the fall. You know what you've done. You know what you've done. I want you to lose something you love. The call of the void, the taste of your blood. You figure it out. You figure it out. You figure it out. I hope you spend the rest of your life checking over your shoulder for the sword of Damocles to I want you to see the fruit of your toil slip from your grasp, turn into ash. You know that you're down. You know that you're down.
We are here talking with Terrycloth Mother on Live from Cleveland at Home. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the program this evening. And we just heard 3 songs from them. Guys, do you want to really quickly recap what we just heard a little bit?
Sure. What did we just hear? We just heard
Dancing
The
Plague.
Dancing Plague, which is a song we wrote before the pandemic and recorded, and then the pandemic happened, and we're like,
Oh my
"Did we do
God,
that?"
you
Whoops.
foreshadowed it.
I know.
Sorry.
And
Sorry,
then,
guys.
Sorry.
yeah, sorry. Sweet Doom was the other song, the second song, I should say. Sweet Doom is it's our ballad, and then you heard Weight of the World.
It's a new one.
It's a newer song of ours. Ominous song about bad people getting their comeuppance.
Good word.
Ooh. And you guys have been working on a ton of stuff this past year, even while you can't be playing out live at bars per se, but you've been writing a lot of stuff and recording a lot of stuff. Tell me a little bit about what you've got coming up in the pipeline here.
Well, we have songs toward a full length album. I think we're 99% of the way along when it comes to the songs on the album. It's just we have a little more recording to do. I think some overdubs and things like that, and then just deciding how we're going to put it out. I mean, obviously with COVID and things being kind of crazy and not knowing exactly how the direction things are going in the next 6-7 months, the format we put it out in might vary depending on that. And then we're just going to keep writing. I mean, we took a little bit of time off when COVID first hit, and we all kind of like hunkered down. And then we just got back together in the space. The space is big enough that we have a lot of space between us. We don't have to. I mean, we never normally even sit this close. This is
true.
This is actually kind of uncomfortable.
Special occasion. Thanks for bearing with me here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But no. So like we've been working together, writing, and we figured out ways to record in our space, so that's real easy. We come in for a day or two, and yeah, so we're just gonna keep on keeping on. But yeah, we will have a full length album out this year. Probably, hopefully in the first,
Probably in 2021.
2021. I'm already anticipating something better than 2020.
That'll be
So
a
yeah,
legitimate
2021.
year.
Yeah, we'll have an album out, and I'm hoping first quarter, second quarter of 2021.
Awesome. And I just kind of wanted to ask you really quick about the name. I gotta know, I know that you have to kind of make a quick decision, especially with Lottery League. But how did you guys decide on Terrycloth Mother? Like we don't have Raglan Mother right now. It's Terrycloth Mother.
That was you, kind of.
Yeah, it was on my list of band names, and it really, as we were working on Bullet, it really stood out to me as being descriptive of the vibe. Because it's what are the monkeys? What are they called?
The Harlow
monkeys.
Monkey experiments. Yeah.
We had to torture some monkeys to prove that love was real scientifically, and it's real. Look it up. It's weird, but it's it's just
depressing.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
A little sad.
We had some visuals for our Lottie League performance that were projected, and I edited the video for that, and I pulled the footage from that. And it was very disturbing to go through it and edit it for a couple hours. It was kind of weird.
This is all coming back to me now. I feel like a long time ago you told me this story, and I probably forgot. I was drunk or something.
Yeah.
But it's all coming back now.
Yep.
We were drunk when we told you the story, but we
Yeah.
remember.
I know. To remember those old days.
You remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is such an interesting story and an interesting way to kind of commemorate that tale by calling your band that name. So yeah, I look it up if other people out there too. What a weird thing. We have one last video for you guys tonight, and this is the song that actually that visual was recorded for, correct?
Yes, this is the song called Bullet, which was the first thing we wrote and played at the big show back in June of 2019.
Wow.
Which feels like a lifetime ago. But yeah, it was the thing I spoke of earlier where we all had these different parts and we kind of mashed them together and it came out really well and we were really happy with it. And it just led to a lot more music.
Awesome. We're going to watch that video right now. And then when we come back, we're going to let you guys know where you can hear more music from Terrycloth Mother. We're going to wish you a Merry Christmas Eve because that's going to be coming up on Thursday. So make sure you stick around. We've got just a couple more things to do when we come back here on Live from Cleveland and Home.
Blue There's beauty in the silence, the space between your eyes. There's mystery in the absence, the distance to the stars. I hope that it was worth it. Hope you got everything you want.
All right. We just heard another song, Bullets, by Terrycloth Mother here on Live from Cleveland. That's going to be the last live track that we're going to hear from them tonight. But they're still sticking around for just a couple more questions from me, as well as viewers at home. Sometimes we have very little user interaction here, so we gotta appease our audience when they ask for it. And we had a audience question. So, guys, what are some of the influences of the band that have either presented, kind of come around to how you've presented these songs, or have influenced you in how you make music?
Start with you.
Well, okay, yeah. we all have come from really different backgrounds, which is really interesting. My main influence for my instrument especially is the country music realm. So that doesn't necessarily fit into what we play, at least from what most people would hear, but that's definitely my background and what influences me in my sound.
I grew up on classic rock, got really into punk for a while, and then I got into like jam bands and then post rock. So I'm really all over the place, but I just try to kind of play whatever fits the song. So.
Yeah. I've really always been into like songwriters. Amy Mann, Wilco, Radiohead. Radiohead has really pushed through in a lot of my influence in this particular project, I think. But that's I'm really into people who write words.
I in this particular band, I think more orchestral bands like Mogwai have really kind of settled in my head a bit. Although, I mean, there are influences within some of my drumming. Like, I would say there's even a couple of parts where I'm using drum techniques that are like from grindcore and like hardcore and stuff. But that's just I dial it back. But I think I have the loudest influences of the four of us.
Sure, yeah.
And maybe the least palatable. That's the lottery league.
and also a lot of I think a lot of math rock kind of influence through to it in this group. I know you guys were kind of talking about that earlier as we were watching the videos, so people at home couldn't hear you talking about it. But math rock and jazz and that kind of stuff also works its way in. So just what a crazy amalgamation of all of those things, which is absolutely awesome.
There's a melting pot of influences.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah. Remind people at home where they could go to listen to more Terrycloth Mother music, also watch some of the previous sets that you've done, and why they should go do that as well.
If you like live music and bands that make that music, you should go to terryclothmother.com to hear more music by us, Terrycloth Mother. It's a great place to go to hear that music. Also, go to YouTube and look up Terrycloth Mother. We've got a bunch of our other old live streaming sets. We'll have this up shortly, and
we're on Spotify too. We have Bullet, King of the Wasteland, which was the first song, and The Dancing Plague, all on Spotify.
Awesome.
Yeah. John didn't even know that.
John's never been there before.
I'm not on Spotify. I wouldn't know. So
we're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music, where people can hear us.
Yep.
If they say.
Awesome.
I didn't know we were on Apple Music. So.
Thanks to CD Baby for that. CD Baby. We're not. They're not a sponsor, but our phone is always on.
And also, you guys were telling me a little bit earlier that the set that you did for CODA for the Hunger Network, the homeless
Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless.
Thank you. Such a long name. That's a completely different set than also the live set that you did tonight.
Yeah, we've got enough material that we felt like, since we were doing these two shows or two streams on two sequential weeks, we should play all different stuff. So if you go to our YouTube page or our Facebook page, you can hear a whole different set of songs than what you heard tonight.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys all so much and give a big shout out to Terrycloth Mother for joining us tonight from their studio. It was so nice to see all of you virtually. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Isaac.
And we will be rebroadcasting this on Thursday night on terrestrial radio during our normal radio program time slot, 10 to 11 p.m. on WRUW-FM 91.1 Cleveland. And it'll also be Christmas Eve by then. So if you want to, you missed part of this or you want to relive a little bit of it on the radio, that's when it'll be on. And this will also be archived on our YouTube page as well as our Facebook page. So if you are interested in rewatching or following us on either of those platforms, please do. We are always posting new content weekly. So thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And it was great to see you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.